Then I skated back to the hotel, and at the hotel, right as I'm coming up to the hotel, a Rasta guy starts asking me about my dreads, and just automatically, he thinks I'm a Rasta, which I don't really follow any religion. And so he invited me to some sort of party, and I thought that'd be really cool to go see something like that. But I was really tired, and so I went up back to the hotel and took a shower, and then was like, okay, he told me basically straight up the street. And so I was like, I'm sure I can find this place. He said it wasn't far. And so I start walking, and someone starts talking to me. I run into somebody, and he had claimed that he was working at the same hotel that I worked at. Oh my God, even just talking about this right now makes things more clear to me and what really happened. And I didn't recognize him. He didn't look like anybody that I had seen thus far in the day, but I was really tired, and I was like, okay, maybe he does work there, and I didn't see him. So anyway, we wound up talking, and I'm telling him about where I was headed, and he's like, oh, yeah, well, I'll take you there. I was like, okay, cool. So I walked with him, and we walked much further and took a turn. And so already I was like, I don't think we're going to the right place, but maybe he's taking me to a different Rasta bar, whatever, I don't know. And so we get into this little kind of neighborhood almost, and we walk into what looked like a house, and there's just a bunch of girls dancing, but they're all wearing like some kind of traditional dress. And so at first I was like, wow, this is weird. It's all women in here and just us two. At this point, I don't know what it is or what to expect. And so I just go with it. I'm like, okay, we'll just see where this leads. Then he starts talking about buying the girls drinks. And then one sits down next to me and starts talking to me, just talking to me while everyone else is dancing. And little by little, I start to realize, oh, this is a whorehouse. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, we need to get out of here. And so I tell the guy, I'm like, look, I'm just gonna go. I'm ready. This is not my scene. I'm not trying to stay here. And he's like, oh, we already bought them drinks. I was like, oh, I didn't buy anyone drinks. I told you when you started. Anyhow, not to go into too much of the detail, but then there's this big discussion, like I feel like trying to wrangle me into the situation. Looking back at this point, I feel like it was completely wrangled. Like the guy probably saw me come out of the hotel room, and that was his talking point. Anyhow, I'm in a whorehouse, like, with a claim of drinks that I have to pay for. And I have no money on me. I didn't change money in Ethiopia, so I literally didn't even bring a wallet, just out of precaution, just out of being careful. All I wanted to do was go see the Rasta ceremony, which I thought was just going to be out in the street. Anyhow, so at one point, the guy I'm with gets up, like he gets a phone call or something, and then just leaves. And so I'm like, oh, hell no. So I get up and I start trying to follow him out. And at this point, there had only been women in the club. There are two other guys wound up coming in and sitting on another couch, which even more so, highlights what's really going on. But then they had left also, and so the guy I'm with leaves, and I go to follow him out, and he literally just disappeared. He was just gone. And so when I turn around, a dude, like the enforcer, I guess, the pimp, whatever you want to call this guy, scary motherfucker, comes storming up to me and grabs a hold of me, and he's like, where are you trying to run to? And I'm like, I'm not running anywhere. The guy I'm with has just left, and, going to talking to this guy. And I realized, like, the danger of the situation immediately. Like, I'm looking for this guy who's kind of fidgety with his other hand. I'm like, is he going to stab me? Is he going to shoot me? What happens now, And so I get him to calm down, and I figure to me that the best thing for me to do is stay calm myself. not react, and just really pay attention to this guy. So I'm just like watching his eyes, and then he calmed down, you know, and then it turns into a discussion, and I explain to him the situation, which I'm sure he might have already been aware of. Either way, eventually, he let me go, and I wasn't sure that that would be the outcome, ultimately. There were moments of thinking Ethiopia is where it ends. But fortunately, it didn't.